My man.
I'm excited to see you again.
You are still active. 10 years left.
He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm done.
He got a little girl. He's like, oh.
It's hard to bring this guy to Las Vegas for any reason. The city is not good for Jon Jones. And here we are again.
What was your reaction when you first got the news that there had been another incident?
It's like it's not even shocking anymore.
Jon Jones just lit the MMA universe ablaze with a leaked phone call that's got everyone talking and the fighters and fans in an uproar. While chaos ensues, Dana White struggles with damage control. This is the tempest no one anticipated. Meanwhile, events may be playing out as Ariel Helwani once forecasted, with Jon Jones largely retiring from the division. Where Helwani had stated that Jones might be stripped of his title, it now appears that he is voluntarily relinquishing the championship himself. This development alters the position of the heavyweight division, providing an avenue for upstarts to emerge and the UFC to proceed without the incumbent champion.
It's not about you, Jon. It's not about you. It's not about your life. It's not about your story. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be a part of a reality show, if you want to take that money and delay things and hold someone else's dreams back from becoming a reality, that is ducking. That is ducking, because there is a time-honored tradition in this business, in the sport, in combat sports, in fight sports, in sports period, that the whole thing has to move along. It's not about your story. Your story is great and you're living your best life, great. Get rid of that belt. If you want to do that, great. No one will begrudge you. Everyone thinks you've done enough. You've earned enough. You've proven enough. Now allow someone else to have that same story. Allow someone else to write that same story. You are holding him back. You are holding back not only Tom Aspinall, but the rest of the division. So yes, you're missing the point. This isn't about you. It's about the belt. How many more times does Tom have to say it? He would love to fight him. He would love to be he would love to have the opportunity to be that guy. He would love it. Who wouldn't? But he just wants that belt. He wants whatever that belt signifies, whatever it symbolizes, and what it brings. All the things that Jon Jones is enjoying right now, because if Jon Jones wasn't the most decorated champion, wasn't the greatest light heavyweight champion, wasn't the 2-division champion, he wouldn't be doing things like this. He wouldn't get opportunities like this. He wouldn't get the opportunity to live his best life. And now you are stopping someone else from living their best life. Do you get the difference? It's not about you.
Mighty Mouse had already hinted that this fight was never going to be, citing Jon Jones's reluctance to step in against Tom Aspinall. His vision appeared to preempt the recent breakdown, portraying tensions and skepticism about the fight way before things officially broke down.
Jon Jones, as a martial artist he is, I think he looks at Tom Aspinall, and I think he does see there's, you can't overlook anybody. I think, Tom Aspinall does present some problems that Jon Jones will have to navigate. Do I think he's ducking him? I think you said it best. Jon Jones has all the cards. All the cards are in his hands. Where in a legit sport of mixed martial arts, just like the Westland gangster Chael Sonnen said in the code of RCW 11.025, that when you have a healthy champion and you have an interim champion, those two should be fighting. That fight between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic should have never happened. Stipe Miocic, great guy. He got a world title fight against the best athlete in the sport of mixed martial arts, coming off a loss and a long ass year layoff. It's almost like, I look at it as like
Jake, 4 years layoff.
4-year layoff. I look at that like Jake Paul beating up all these old ass.
No, it was exactly that.
It
was like a very poor man's version of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Well,
not to insult Steve Biggs, he's much better than that.
No, not in that context. Why I'm bringing up Jake Paul is that you're telling me that there's nobody else. There's not a 25-year-old boxer in a gym right now who Jake Paul can't fight. You're telling me there's nobody that Jake Paul can fight that's, hey, I'm 8-2 in boxing. I won Golden Gloves. I love boxing. I would love to fight Jake Paul. Why I'm referencing that is that you tell me there's nobody else that Jon Jones couldn't fight besides Stipe. Like, He could have fought Tom. He could have fought Jonathan Almeida.
But that's
And Jon Jones has just proven Mighty Mouse's prediction right by revealing in the leaked phone call that he's done with the UFC for now. This confirmation brings an official end to the long saga that has left fans and fighters frustrated for months. With Jones stepping away, the heavyweight division can finally start moving forward. Tom Aspinall and other contenders now have a clear path ahead, while the MMA world processes the impact of Jones's unexpected decision.
My man. I'm excited to see you again.
You are still active. 10 years left.
He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm done.
He got a little girl. He's like,
Looking forward to seeing you again, Camille. You look great. Let's do some business.
Meanwhile, this latest news has left fans even angrier after weeks of drama fueled by Jon Jones himself. It all started when Jones teased a potential matchup, only if he was offered a humongous $30 million. That quote in itself generated mania, with Daniel Cormier chiming in and lending credence to the hype. Expectations shot through the roof as fans eagerly anticipated an official announcement, but ultimately, it was all for naught, leaving fans feeling deceived, disappointed, and frustrated with the constant taunting.
He said Jon Jones said he wants $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. I'll tell you guys right now, as a person that has been involved in big fights, a person that has sold pay-per-views, a person that at his time was at the top of the pay scale in the UFC as the heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. $30 million was literally a world away from anything we were making. I remember when I got paid in New York, I got like a big bump to take a fight on 3 weeks' notice, which ultimately became my salary, and people were astounded with the number. But I will tell you, it was a fraction of what that number for is. It was nowhere near that. But I've heard now rumors that the higher end guys are making more. The Israel Adesanyas, the Jon Jones, the Stipe Miocic. I heard that Stipe Miocic made big money for the last fight. So when you hear stuff like, well, this guy made $7 million, generally you go, well, he probably made about 5, right? 3 to 5. But hell, if he's making $3 to $5 million to fight on that night, to go get beat up like he did, no wonder Stipe Miocic said, I'm going to fight, right? But again, that is a world away from $30 million. Conor McGregor comes back to fight and goes, I want $30 million to fight. The UFC considers it.
Supporters also sympathize with Tom Aspinall, who got caught in the middle of all the drama. On a recent podcast interview with Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, Tom had spoken about his genuine wish to simply fight and remain active without being entwined in the drama and politics. His genuine and down-to-earth attitude resonated with many who now view him as a fresh breath of air compared to the constant drama in the Jon Jones and heavyweight situations.
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on.
Exactly. You're an office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I've not got a fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see John's point of view. I get it. I get it. It's just about the title for me. I just want the title, that's it. There's nothing else really matters. So
you're like, let me do my thing. Let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's John, and it's no disrespect to John. It's no disrespect to anybody out there. You're just trying to fight. I just want to fight.
Nonetheless, some old video of Jon Jones recently emerged where he claimed that if he ever did feel disrespected, he would leave the sport. This has fueled fresh speculation regarding his treatment by the UFC and whether tensions had been brewing on an ongoing basis in the lead up to the current circumstances. Most think that the revived clip provides valuable perspective to Jones's recent behavior and demands, and that perhaps his grievances against the promotion had actually been developing long before the most recent controversy.
In any other profession, if you're unhappy with the way you're being treated or the way, you're being paid or whatever, you can just, take your shit and leave and go to the next boss and see if they value you more. And in my situation, I would be forced to retire from fighting completely unless I wanted to coach or own a gym. You know, my hands are tied. That, you know, the companies that own Bellator and some of these other leagues do have the same amount of backing, financial backing that the UFC had. And I do believe that having John Jones in promotion, especially today when I'm really making an effort for the first time to really get someone together. But my last DWI has done a lot for me, man. It set me free in so many ways. It embarrassed me. It reality checked me. I've never been on camera drunk for the public to see like that. It was humiliating and somewhat of a bottom for me, and I'm ready to snap it into high gear. But anyways, I think right now is a good time for any company to have me.
Jones himself has already made various statements in the past regarding fighters being underpaid, always expressing his discontent with the payment system of the UFC. He has been one of the loudest high-profile fighters to criticize the payment issues, demanding fair compensation and respect for athletes who risk their health. His $30 million ultimatum and the re-emerging video appeared to fit a pattern of discontent that has been long in the making, fueling further tension in an already hot-button issue.
Most of the guys who are doing the absolute worst are not in a position that they could say publicly, I have a second job, I'm borrowing money from my parents. Right. I know so many fighters that are living in the Jackson MMA gym because they can't afford to have their own apartment. And they're UFC fighters.
And they just fought.
So this is sad. And if I have to have a bad relationship with Dana, sit out for 2 years, 3 years, to bring light to what's happening, then these are the things that people remember you for more than winning belts.
His immense demand plus overall conduct in the UFC had Dana White providing his latest remarks regarding Jones, which sparked speculation that things between them are growing more tumultuous by the day. Fans caught on to the veiled jabs and strained tone, seeing it as a sign that things are running higher than ever between the UFC president and Jones. This war of words in the public sphere has only served to heighten the drama, with many wondering just how much longer the two will be able to continue working together before things finally boil over.
It's hard to bring this guy to Las Vegas for any reason. The city is not good for John Jones. And here we are again.
What was your reaction when you first got the news that there had been another incident?
It's not even shocking anymore. It's when we bring him here, it's almost expected. You know, you can't even get him in Las Vegas for less than 12 hours to induct him into the Hall of Fame. It's a problem. You know, this guy's got a lot of demons, man. A lot of demons.
But things appear to be turning as Ariel Helwani posted tweets announcing that John Jones had already made the UFC aware of his intentions ahead of time. Helwani mentioned that the UFC could be manipulating Tom Aspinall during all this commotion. This news has been another twist in the drama that is unfolding, and it brings to mind questions regarding the real dynamics of what happens behind the scenes, and if fighters such as Tom are caught in the middle of a bigger power struggle.
This was probably the most interesting of the tweets, replying to a tweet from Harris Yeekball 1208, who I think is actually the same guy who asked me, where were you when? Anyways, he says, yes, otherwise you would have vacated the title a long time ago because you don't plan to fight Tom. Johnny responds, for some reason his name is Johnny Meat. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I told the UFC my plans a long time ago. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. Here's one more, which I really don't understand. I read it 5 times. From Alfredo. So are you fighting again or not? You're the current champion of the division. Not a bad idea. I don't even know what that response means.
What do you mean? You're saying it's not a bad idea to fight. I get it.
Okay.
That's the only one I get.
They were talking about finances and all that. And he was like, yeah, not a bad idea. Make some money off that fight.
Guys, here's the rub. He said it right there. He just gave the Aspinall family a gift on a silver platter. If you go back to the tweet prior to this last one, where he says, hey, I told the UFC my plans. There it is. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I told them my plans. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. If I'm Tom, if I'm Andy Aspinall, Mr. Aspinall, his father, his coach, essentially, for all intents and purposes, his manager, I take that tweet and I send it to the UFC. I send it to Hunter Campbell. I send it to Dana White. And I say, all right, so share the plans with us. He told you his plans. He told you his intentions. Now tell us. Because either one of you is lying at this point. Either John didn't tell them his plans, or the UFC is not telling their plans to Tom. It's one of the two. Either the UFC doesn't know his plans, or they do.
This resulted in Dana White facing heavy criticism for the turn of events. He had initially confirmed that the fight was on, only to have it dissolve later. Under pressure when asked about the situation, Dana gave a clear indication of frustration, fueling the speculation that backstage tensions are boiling over. Fans and insiders alike are now left wondering what actually went wrong and who is actually in charge of the situation.
Tom Aspinall, I didn't read it. I told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. John Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon. I know the whole internet. Oh, John Jones, that I'm up John Jones. These are facts. Facts.
Footage of Tom Aspinall on the Impulsive podcast supports Ariel Helwani's point about Tom being misinformed. On the podcast, Tom revealed that the UFC had told him the fight would happen, which makes the sudden cancellation even more confusing and frustrating. This adds to the growing belief that Tom was caught off guard and left in the dark amid the ongoing drama between Jon Jones and the UFC.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the thing with John is conning the public, man.
Whoa. And Logan Paul, it's his favorite fighter.
Yeah. Oh, is it really?
Well,
yeah. Listen.
I mean, he's definitely top three. He's definitely top three.
Absolutely. I'm not disputing that he's an amazing fighter. I think the fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year. And the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him. But do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely.
Can you understand that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can.
You can empathize with that?
I respect it. But if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be yes.
Well, is regardless of that and that fear, because clearly he's overcome it at times in the past, is that fight happening?
I cannot say or deny. No, right now we're actually waiting for news. We have had to do, I'm chasing it up. Like the UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I'm chasing it all the time. I want the fight really bad.
A third rumor that's been circulating is that fighters and analysts both have been making it build up by calling for Jon Jones to be stripped of his title, first and foremost with Tom Aspinall. This built-up pressure indicates the annoyance within the MMA community, since many desire the division to proceed and not suffer from extra delays due to the constant drama surrounding Jones. The demand for action is rising, which now leaves the UFC with a difficult dilemma as things unfold.
I think Jon Jones should be stripped to the title, to be honest, because everyone else does when they get injured like that. I don't see why he's still got it. I don't understand that. I think I should be the real champion right now. And it's hard to say without sounding rude, but who's asked about Jon Jones and Stipe anymore? Like, why do we get this legacy fight and they get to live by their own rules? What's a legacy fight? What's a retirement fight for a title? That's not... I want to fight Stipe, and then I want to fight Jon Jones, is what I want to do, to answer you. Stop protecting your boy at the top there, Jon Jones. If he's injured, get out of the way, I'll fight Stipe.
Paddy Pimblett also entered the discussion, stating that if Islam Makhachev was going to be stripped of his title, then Jon Jones must be stripped as well. His remark poured gasoline on the increasing fire in the discussion among fighters and fans, calling for simplicity and justice in the manner in which the UFC deals with its champions in the midst of all the continuing drama.
I didn't think they'd make Islam vacate, but if you're making Islam vacate, Jones needs to be stripped. You know what I mean? If you're making Islam vacate after 4 defences, fighting people on short notice, you should let him try and be double champ.
But some fans are actually finding a little solace in this situation. As Ariel Helwani once noted, Jon Jones has been keeping the heavyweight division afloat with all the postponements and theatrics. The UFC has attempted everything to get things moving, but progress would always stall. Even the middleweight division suffered the ripple effects. Now that Jones seems out of the picture, fans think that the heavyweight division can finally gain momentum and continue with new matchups and actual activity.
It's not because of the UFC. It's not because of Tom Aspinall as well. I think ultimately who will decide whether or not this fight happens or not is Jon Jones. Now, that's not some big breaking news, but I say that to say, yes, if Jon wants the fight to happen today, and I don't mean like the fight to actually be fought today, but like done deal today, it could be a done deal today. It's up to him, and it's always been up to him. Now, for a while, you could have said, all right, they have to meet whatever number, right? That 30 million was thrown out. Whatever that number is, Rogan, I had heard the same number, whatever. Point is, I believe that the UFC has met all the demands.
Well,
in a very favorable way for both guys. They both have demands. We know what Tom wants to a degree, and we know what Jon wants to a degree. I think ultimately it's on him. Now, we don't need to get into the whole like, at what point do they need to pull the plug on this, and when's the deadline? We've done that.
Furthermore, Ariel viewed this to O as a relief, thinking that Tom Aspinall could finally get on with his career without being stopped by the cloud of doubt over Jon Jones. This could mean new doors for Tom to get on with his own career and scale the heavyweight division without the perpetual specter of Jones hanging over the division.
Doesn't fight Tom Aspinall.
No.
Yes.
You think so? I don't think so.
I think it's no as well.
What would the justification be? Who would he fight? Because he's not going to get that. Whatever the demands are, he will not get that price tag to fight somebody other than Tom. And so
agree.
I don't know what you come back for if it's
But
not.
obviously,
that
he's not looking for that price tag. If the UFC have offered him that money and he doesn't want the fight, it's nothing to have to do with that.
Yeah, but why would he
But
go for
lesser?
even less?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Definitely, I think there
Like
is a way that happens.
Who do you think would get him excited?
Sergey Spivak?
I don't know. I just think every fighter is going to fight again. You know what I mean? They find a way. Anthony Smith yesterday in his interview, I'll take a boxing fight. To say like, if he doesn't fight Aspinall now, he will never fight again.
Oh,
I
you're
don't believe
talking
that.
non-UFC. You're talking,
I'm talking.
like
Yeah.
any.
Is there like? Well, the question was, is he going to fight someone
Okay,
else?
that's
Like,
Cheers for watching. If you feel good about this detailed review of the entire saga of Jon Jones and the latest drama in MMA, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you never miss out on any updates. Leave your thoughts in the comment section as well, because do you think the heavyweight division can finally move forward in the absence of Jones? Who do you see next taking the top podium spot? As for now, stay tuned and keep loving MMA until next time.